Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our podcast.
Oh, I forgot the name of the podcast.
It's
Sorry Amma, I married a Kiwi.
unforgettable, iconic. Thanks for coming back for our third episode. We are now in our room.
Yes, so we have our wedding photo back there, and the cute little crochet things were gifted for us from the Armageddon, actually.
We thought that our room seemed a bit too normal, so we had to add some strangeness to it.
Okay, and
if you go on social media, you'll be able to see what we're showing you, because it won't purely be audio.
that is true.
It's just a little tip for the audience.
I think so, yeah.
Today we'll be delving deep into what really is the Sam and Emasha relationship.
We kind of told a little bit about how it was just chaotic and dramatic and crazy story coming, but we didn't say anything else.
No, we just kind of put like a taster teaser out there, and then took a long time to get to our second episode.
Yeah.
Which is currently being edited on my computer and is coming very soon.
And I think given how our relationship last year was, and then even towards the end and the beginning of this year, so many new things were happening. So much was changing. So from the day that we recorded the last episode to this is a bit of a time. So yeah, because of that, I can't actually remember what we talked about, but we will.
And we did go to a cafe the other day, and we tried to plan out the next three, because I think everyone's wanting kind of the backstory of how this great cross-cultural relationship came to be. And then we just realized we thought number 3 of the podcast would just be talking about the run-up to you going to Sri Lanka the first time.
Yeah.
And then we just realized how much content that is.
We kind of thought it's going to be a half of the podcast episode where we're going to be like, look, this is what happened. We met and then we went to get the blessings. But boy, oh boy.
But instead we ran out of paper, so...
And we spent half an hour talking about, oh my God, this happened, that happened, oh gosh. Oh, yeah, so much happened. And it was 20 days or something, because you were spoiler, he was in Australia for 10 days or something in that courtship of the first.
It was the most kind of high-speed, highly edited, no boring bits, courtship smushed together you could possibly imagine. And we're going to go into that incredible story after this fun intro. Welcome back from that fun intro.
Okay, so where are we going to start?
The first date.
So my version of the first date and Sam's version of the first date
are exactly the same. No variations.
I beg to differ. It is very different.
Would you like to begin this tale?
Of
courtship and woe?
So my version is that I was about to go to Sri Lanka. I have been here for a while in New Zealand, and I was working in one of the law firms here, and then I kind of came to the decision that I might want to go back and practice for a while.
You were kind of done with New Zealand at that point, right?
I had COVID. I was on the rock bottom at one point, a month or two before that, and I was like, what am I doing? My whole family is back in Sri Lanka, and I'm just I am a lawyer from Sri Lanka, if you put it in that way, for professional background. So I was I have my professional, the career there, I have my family there. What am I doing? So I kind of decided to go back home and then work for a while before I come back again or make another decision about it.
And also, just to interject, you didn't really know a lot of your flatmates there. It was a big house, but people who could check in on you.
No, I don't think any one of them knew that I had COVID. Maybe they knew, but they didn't even, I don't know.
Could have died.
It was really sad. Do we really need to talk about it?
I think so, because it's kind of the zero to hero. But also, not to glass over, you'd put so much into coming to New Zealand and getting your qualification and working here. You wouldn't have thought of going back to Sri Lanka unless, you're I'm over this for now,
Yep. Truth to be told, I came to New Zealand to get the master's done and go back and practice, because I always wanted to work on humanitarian side of law, and most of those work happens in like Sri Lanka and that region. So I was like, I don't know what the future holds, but I'm here to get the master's done and then probably go to UN or something. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. So I wasn't planning on staying in New Zealand for that long. But then I loved New Zealand. I really loved New Zealand. It is so beautiful if you have been here.
The country.
Heavenly blues and greens. I love it. And people are amazing. But then COVID happened and everybody, like everything shut down. It was such a slow phase. Like you don't get to see anybody. I haven't been to Sri Lanka to see my family in like 2 years or something. And it was pretty bad. And then on top of that, I had COVID.
Didn't you have like spine tingles? Like it was whole body?
Yes. The first time I had COVID, like that night that I got to know that I had COVID, I was like, I was kind of thinking like my spine feels like it's gonna break into two. So that's how bad it felt. And I was like, okay, I just had my phone on me and thinking it's like, okay, I might have to type 111 at some point. 111 in New Zealand, right?
111.
Yes, I don't want to say this wrong. So 111, and I was like waiting. Okay, at some point I'm gonna call an ambulance and then that's gonna be it. But thankfully nothing happened. I was fine. And then after I was like that for like 7-10 days or something like that, and slowly recovering and all that kind of stuff. But still, I was like, okay, I wanted to revisit my decisions. And at that point, even though I like New Zealand and wanted to think about having a life or a career here, but I thought, no, I need to go back home and then just work there for a while. And so I got a good opportunity to work there as well. So I was like, okay, I'll go back. So I gave my resignation. That was a big decision. It was a comfortable job, to be fair, to have in COVID time.
It's a fancy building.
It was a fancy building.
It was right next to the harbour, so one of the tallest buildings in the skyline, looked out at like Rangitoto. Yeah,
it was like, there were times I would sitting in the lunchroom looking out to the harbour bridge and the beautiful views on the ocean and thinking, it's like, how on earth did I come here?
Feels good.
So anyways, I decided, okay, I have to say bye to this job, and I gave my resignation. By the way, if we go in this speed, I don't think we're going to finish the story.
No, that's even 100 episodes, hashtag.
Eternity later. Anyways.
So what do you say to the allegations that you didn't show up for our first date?
See, that's what I meant. Like, Sam's version of the story is a tiny bit different to mine. For me, I kind of decided, like, I'll just, since I'm going home, why not I talk to somebody? But then I thought, it's like, maybe not.
Maybe I'm leaving in a month and this was a strange idea.
Yeah, so even though I wanted to meet somebody, then I decided, like, well, I think it's a silly idea.
So we'd been messaging a bit before then.
Yeah.
And that's because from my memory, I was like, oh, let's meet up for a date. And you were like, yes. And I found that very exciting. And then it was the morning of, and you hadn't been in touch at all, which didn't seem like a good sign.
I was busy. I was at work.
Oh, the night before you were, but then like the next morning, it was like Saturday morning, and I was like, hey, what's happening? And you're like, nothing much, just chilling at home. And I'm like, oh, cool, same. I was like, I guess the date isn't happening then.
I apologize.
But that was also, I think you already knew that you wanted to, like, didn't want to entertain anything like that because you were leaving.
I come from a traditional background as well, so dating it's a bit terrifying thing for me. So.
Yeah, you had gone off the idea of dating.
Yeah, I just thought of entertaining the idea, and then I got terrified by myself, so I just like, okay, you know what? No, thank you.
And also, like, I think very early on, like, Emasha knew my name, so she'd looked into all my books and author stuff, and then I'd looked at her podcast, and she'd done, like, a video interview for the Subtle Realities podcast, and I was like, oh my gosh, so I was pretty head over heels by that point before we'd actually meeting up. But then we did arrange another date for the long weekend on the Monday.
Yes. Yeah.
And you almost didn't turn up to that one either.
So what happened was, so it feels like Sam is interrogating me. He's like, why didn't you come? Why did you
I just think the truth should come out. I'm glad we're all here for this.
So, yeah, and then the day before, I went to a Halloween party, from my memory, with my friend Gowrie, and I think Bianca was there too. So, if they're listening, hi. So Gary and Bianca and we just dressed up, went to this Halloween party, danced and had some fun and came home, and I just crashed at Gary's place. I didn't come home that night. And so the morning I was like contemplating, it's like, I don't want to go, like just come, like what am I doing? I'm going home in a month. I might not come back, and I just, what am I doing? And so that kind of led to me thinking I shouldn't go. And Gary was like, what, you said you have a date. Why are you not going? I'm like, I don't want to go. This is just, and also I was like, as I said, I was terrified. I had the braveness coming out and the terrifyingness coming out. It was just like a battle, whatever. And Gary, simply put, she kind of kicked me out of the door. She said, it's like, dude, you have to go. Just go. Just, he looks kind of cute. Just go and meet him.
Thank you,
and then
Gary.
have a chat. Have a chat. And I said, okay, she convinced me that I should just give it a go. And I'm very grateful.
And I am owing a life debt to Gowrie. Thank you so much. So from my perspective, I just knew that the date was meant to be happening at the Domain Winter Garden Cafe. And my Uber was like pulling in there. It was like just before the date. And then I get a message saying, actually, I've forgotten my license. Can we meet up like somewhere else?
So that's true though. So I left
I wasn't
Gary's
saying
place
it was
in
a lie.
I left her place in a rush, and I did not have my wallet with me, and I didn't have the license, and I didn't want to drive to the Domain, which is like the central part of the city where you would need a license to drive.
We live in Auckland, New Zealand, just as a recap.
And then I thought, okay, I lived very close to Cornwall Park, which is like not suggesting you should drive without a license, but it was just like right next to our house. So I was like, I can make it to there, but not to the city. I'm not driving to the city without a license. So I had
Which is very responsible.
And if I'm being like 101% true and honest, I was kind of thinking like, well, he might just like, oh, this woman is unbelievable, and then he might not turn up.
It was my first test, and I passed.
And he did.
Despite 2 attempts to throw me off from the date. So I was coming into the Domain Winter Garden, and then I got the message saying, actually, can we meet up somewhere else? I'm like, no problem. And you said, can we do Cornwall Park, which is somewhat in a different part of the city.
It's a bit far out of the main, like the central.
Yeah, so I was leaning forward in the car and like asking my Uber driver, I'm like, sorry man, do you know how to like change location? Because my date has changed location. And then he was leaning into the back and trying to like enter it into the field, and neither of us knew how to work the app.
Oh dear.
So then we went to Cornwall Park, I got out, and because it's like a huge park, you know, you're always on the wrong side of it. So I was like running, sprinting for my life to the date through the park. And then I got there, I was pretty sweaty, so I'm like, I have to like breathe for 2 minutes and try to like reassure you that I was on my way.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to your perspective.
I was kind of waiting. I was waiting. It's like, oh, this guy. I mean, I gave him
so many chances.
Yeah, I cut him some slack because I changed the place.
I appreciate that.
But I think that the most awaited part was, oh no, not really. Yeah, no.
What was the most awaited part?
I was about to say like I was waiting to see some blue eyes, but like that's a lie. I forgot that you had blue
You did
eyes.
forget it, because when we got down to the table, you were like, holy moly, this guy's eyes are weird.
Not weird. You have very deep blue eyes. I was hypnotized.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that at the time. Because I was so exhausted from like changing and then the run and everything, I felt like I couldn't get into the groove at the start of it. And I was like, oh no, like everything's going up in flames. Like this was my one big shot and I'm just flunking it. I'm usually much more charismatic than this.
Oh my god, I can't imagine you being more charismatic than that.
You did say it wasn't like my 10 out of 10 game.
Yeah, now I know. No, now knowing you could have done better.
Retrospective grading.
Retrospective. No,
You were great. You're very
I
innovative.
wouldn't have given you a second date if you were terrible, you know.
Thank you.
So,
So, yeah, we talked for ages and ages, and then we realized that we hadn't even ordered the food.
that's true.
And then I went up and ordered the food, and they made me pay for it. And then
I
it
did
was-
not know that. Like, this is not me saying it's like guys should pay for the first date or anything like that. I think if we talk about equality, like, you should at least offer to play.
And I didn't want to assume and be like, oh, I already paid it because I am a male.
And I mean, jumping ahead, after the date, we left the Connell Cafe, and I didn't even remember that I should ask.
I got a message going, oh my god, we didn't pay.
I
just
we
walked
honestly
out.
didn't pay, and I like walked away, and I just like on the way back home was like, oh, no, what did we do? That's so not
Which
nice.
I appreciate because I wasn't sure if you'd been like, yes, who's paid for it, as you should, yes.
No, that's not me at all.
No,
and
it
I was
wasn't.
like, I'm so sorry, and then, but you paid for the
I
first
did.
date.
And I think, yeah, I felt like things suddenly changed because I wasn't really feeling on my right footing. And then we started talking about House of Dragon, which the first season
Oh yeah.
had just come out. And I was talking about to talk about the final episode, and you're like, don't tell me what happens!
Because spoilers.
Yeah, but then that was just like, that was just great, the passion.
That's kind of put you back on the track.
Yeah, then we were fine. Then we were just like bantering.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 5 hours.
We talked for 5+ hours.
We left the cafe and we walked to like a little like stone outlook.
Yeah,
You
it's a
can
beautiful
look at the
park.
sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sheep were good.
Yeah. I'd also like I don't know, I told you this, I pre-prepared like a lot of questions.
What?
Like-
I have never heard of this part.
Like Googled, like what are some like good icebreakers?
Oh my god, tell me.
Well, I remember one of them because it was what is the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you, which is meant to be like a fun, chatty
I
exercise.
remember that.
Yeah, and you disclosed something like which was very personal that you'd been
Yeah.
through, like a hard time, which is
It
not.
was like 2 days before that happened, and I was like, not all of that.
Yeah, but I was just trying to lighten the mood, and it did not work at all. But the fact that you like so honestly talked about, something that you'd just been through, that was like enormous. But then also I couldn't comfort you because I wasn't sure like it was the first date, so I was kind of like 2 fingers trying to pat you on the back, being like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." There.
That was weird. Oh, that was a pre-prepared question. I didn't
That one
know
was,
that.
yeah, it did not.
But
It worked out.
were there any other questions that you had?
I don't like that one is just so memorable as a backfire.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I just had them like in case there's a lull in conversation.
Yeah, good prep.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be. I don't think you would have a die silent moment with. Have you? It was like, oh my god, I don't know what to say next.
Oh, we didn't because
Yeah.
we were just bantering like anything.
Yeah.
Could have happened.
Could have happened.
And then it was the end of the date. I remember kind of awkwardly. I didn't know it was awkward, but you said it was awkward. Like standing, saying goodbyes, and be like, "Oh, this has been fun." You're like, "This has been fun." And I was like, "We should do it again." It's like, "Yeah." And then we're kind of like vibing, but it was like first date. It was too soon to kiss. So then I just kind of kept walking away until I was behind.
Oh, you walked me to my car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was where we had the
Oh,
standing.
the awkwardness, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I walked until I was behind a tree and out of sight, and I just like collapsed. I was like, "Oh my god, what a date!"
What would you rate the date?
5 out of 5.
I thought you were going to say 5 out of 10.
One for each hour.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I just started texting everybody I knew, like immediately after, to like tell them that
Really?
I was calling someone. I was like walking out of Cornwall Park by this point, but yeah.
Okay. Who did you call?
I can't remember. I should look back on my call logs. Just whoever I could get on the line.
Somebody answer!
I've got great news. I had a date that was good.
Okay. And now, so,
That's my perspective.
um,
No?
yeah. My perspective, I was waiting for the for this guy to pop up, and then he came, and you were wearing a white shirt. You know how I really like when you wear white shirts. So I was like, oh,
This is just lucky fortune.
I was like, okay. And then we just sat down and started talking, and I like after a while I was like, oh, the eyes. I just noticed the eyes, and I'm like, I think for a few minutes I forgot. I did not even listening to what you were saying. I was like, oh, well,
Yep, blue eyes, white shirt, blue eyes, white shirt, blue eyes, white. Dragons.
Hey, don't tell me the House of Dragon. Oh, shoot. No. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. But we talked about so much. I can't even remember what we talked about, but it was really nice.
Yeah.
And we ordered creamy mushroom.
We got the same meal and neither of us made a dent in it.
That was so good.
It's very tasty.
And that's the day we knew we shouldn't be ordering 2 full meals.
Therefore, we always shared the same plate.
But yeah, I remember it was a very nice talking, and it was a summery day, beautiful day, and we got home, and for me that was it.
Of course,
like, good guy, nice guy, and I didn't know I wasn't planning on the second date or anything.
What? This is a revelation. I did not know about this.
So what did you do?
No, please elaborate on that.
No,
So you just
as I
was...
told you, I was.
But it was such a good date.
Yeah, but what did you do?
Also, we're skipping over the part where on the date, Emasha's like very early on. You're like, oh, and by the way, because I'm going to Sri Lanka.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that on the first day.
I'm going to Sri Lanka in a month, and I was like, oh, for how long? It's like, I can't remember how you phrased it. It was like pretty much forever, and I'm like, what are we doing here?
I'm honest.
Yeah.
So I just told you.
But you did. It wasn't like a hey. I know you've really gotten your hopes up, but letting you down.
No, I was just like joking.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like, by the way, I know I'm great, so you're not gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be hard for you to forget me. So, but still,
Emotionally,
like,
that would have helped.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I was just like, oh, by the way, I'm just going to Sri Lanka in a month.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah. So I remember going home afterwards,
Yeah.
back to the flat, and my friend Lara, who had helped like give feedback on the outfit for that day. She was very much like overseeing my dating life.
That's good. Thank you, Lara.
Any bestie does. Thanks, Lara. And I came through the door and she's like, how did it go? And I was like, it was great. I think I'm in love with her. And she's like, awesome. I'm like, but she's leaving for Sri Lanka in a month forever. She's like, oh no. And then we got to like the table in the kitchen. We started drawing out like the master plan of how to get Emasha to fall for me in the space of 30 days. And there was an added stress because actually 14 days of that I was going to be in Australia with Dad on a trip.
14 days. I thought it was 10.
Maybe it was 10 days. Felt like 14. It was the better part of 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was sort of like, okay, by this time you have to try to have like 2 more dates to kind of lock that in, and then like, things have to be serious enough by the time you departed to have a chance of you returning at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least I had to get to know you, to tell, I don't know.
So what did you tell Gowrie after the date? What was like was there like a girls' debrief?
Oh, this is a good question. I can't remember. I might have to talk to Gowrie about this.
It's funny because we have Gowrie in the closet right now. Here we are. Welcome on the show.
We should call her, actually.
We're definitely going to bring in like a lot of secondary evidence.
Yeah, secondary evidence. Oh my god, you.
So I had I had the Sam and Lara plan, and the next step was trying to pin down a second date. So I sent a message. I wish we had the message here so I could read it out. There'll be secondary evidence. Point being, I asked you if you wanted to go on a second date, and amazingly, what was your response?
I said no. Did I?
No, you said yes.
Thank you.
So why would you agree to the second date if you thought you would be heading back to Sri Lanka?
Are you saying that I shouldn't have gone on a second date?
I am happy with
because
how everything went, including the wedding and the marriage.
The proof.
But I'm just curious.
I don't know. It was very easy to talk to you. And then, I mean, I don't know if I do not know that we are going to get married. And I was
I knew.
not planning on marrying, I'm sorry, white boy. So I was,
Guilty as charged.
it was very nice to talk to you. And I was just like, oh, this is very nice. I'll just have a chat to him again. And I'm so sorry. I just don't have a great memory like you do.
Okay. So I asked her out for a second.
And also, so much happened after that. I think I have forgotten a lot of things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So second date was Butcher's Son, which was a very cool vegetarian place. So I've been wanting to show you.
Was great.
Yeah, really good food. Sadly closed now.
Yeah.
The walking tour of the Sam and Emasha relationship is not complete without that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I got there early, and it was like the most amazing staff ever, because I think I told them. I think I went up. It was like fairly young staff, and I went up. And I'm like, hey, like I have a. No, I didn't tell them. I was just like, hey, like I'm meeting someone. Is it possible to get like a nice seat over there, even though that one's reserved? And they were just like straight away, yeah, take this one. It's reserved, but we'll move them over there. And they like cleared a table. I think I just gave off like nervous date vibe.
Oh,
And they're like,
that's so sweet.
I know, and they're like, we have to look after this guy. And it's like, yes, of course, sir, come this way. And they like made the table ready and everything. And I was waiting, and I was quite nervous because I was thinking, man, I've told everyone about the first date.
What if this sucks?
Yeah. What if I've like really built this up in my mind to be something other than what it is?
And then we just sit there and it's like, so.
I've been guilty before of maybe like over romanticizing, getting carried away. I have the soul of an actor. But I do remember really clearly the moment where you were coming from work,
yeah,
and the door opened and you came in with like that big smile on your face, and I was just, that was like, there was a sense of like calm and peace, and I knew that was, I was making the right decision.
Oh.
Yeah. And the staff were like just all over that. They're like, oh yes, come this way. And like help you the table. And like you were sitting facing me, and behind you they were like winking at me and like, yes, we're on this. And like, kind of like side characters in a play, or like, the stage hands.
Make sure everything is fine.
They were just legendary in every way. So
I wish we could go there for a date or something.
It was
but
really cool.
sadly it's closed
And we
now.
were the first people in there, and we were the last customers out before they closed. So it was another crazy 4 or 5 hour date, I think. 4 hours probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I did not realize that.
I think it was like open at 5 or 5:30 and closed at 10, and we we were there right through.
Wow. What did we talk? I mean,
So-
as you can see, we can't talk. So.
So I've been told very much by all my friends not to bring up the subject of babies. I was told, this is not second date conversation, Sam. Please don't mention the bobbies.
And what did you do?
I kind of went into it and then tried to veer away. I was talking about in a past relationship, I was with someone who had different views on whether they wanted to have kids, and that was difficult. And then suddenly I realized I wasn't meant to be talking about this, so I went to talk about something else. And you're left thinking like, I'm so confused. Were you the one wanting kids or not wanting kids?
You kind of mentioned it. I feel like you started talking about it. It just automatically came out. And then halfway through, you kind of realized like, ooh, okay, backtracking. And then what you were saying didn't make sense. And I was like, so you're the one who, like, you don't want... Who didn't want kids? Like, I just... That's what the heck in Sinhalese, by the way.
They're showing off. Yeah, so it was a good date, good food. I think I remember like talking a lot about like past relationships, a lot of stuff you don't normally talk about on the second date.
To be fair, if we were on the 5 hours plus on the first day and then 4 hours something on the second day, like you kind of have to go into the 5-6 date territory.
Yeah, this was all going according to the plan. Excellent.
So I don't think there's anything surprising about that.
So, I can't remember how much detail we're going into here. Can we talk about the bit where I tried to walk you to your car?
Yeah, you can.
So afterwards, I'd kind of asked, I think I got advice from Michael on this, who's actually probably out in the hallway. We live with them. I can bring him in now. So I was like, I haven't done this dating thing in a while. Like, how does it, like, the first kiss usually work? And I think him and other people gave me advice that, you just walk her to her car and then, like, say, it's okay if I can kiss you, and then you do that, which is,
Consent.
It's great that consent is, like, a common knowledge thing now, and that is the process that should be followed.
Yeah.
However, I ran into a snare when I realised that you didn't have a car.
I bussed to work that day. So I was waiting for my Uber, was I?
You're going to Uber,
Yeah.
and you're like, let's walk for a bit and then I'll get my Uber. So we're walking along, like, all the way up towards Ponsonby Street and along Ponsonby Street. But I still didn't know, like, was I meant to kiss you during that? Because it was meant to happen once we got to the vehicle, but you were the one who was going to summon the vehicle. And once the vehicle came to you, like, it was going to take you away and there was going to be no window. So, like, that was just, I was freaking out.
But you succeed. It's okay.
Oh, really?
I
Would
mean,
you like to tell the build up to that from your perspective?
No.
Okay. You were like, what is going on?
I was like, me. These guys.
I remember you were looking.
A bit weird.
I remember you looking at your phone. Like, I think you realised it was actually getting quite late, and like you did have work the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. I must have been a bit nervous and wanted to go home.
Yeah. Little did you know that Sam was heading in a different direction. So we got to. There's like a bus stop we kind of got to, and I think you were like, I better call the Uber now. No, I think you did call the Uber. Uber was coming. I could tell my time was running out. And then I think I had a great line, which was...
You had a great line.
No, it was a great line. It's never been used before in the history of dating. What was it? It was...
What did you say?
I was just wondering exactly how bold of me would it be if I asked if I could kiss you right now?
That's asking for consent if you put it that way.
Like it was. It was just like it was like I was confiding you to the side. Like, by the way, I'm going to ask you to kiss me. Like, how is this going to go? Because if not, I will not proceed.
Okay.
I think that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Was that a beautiful moment?
Yep. Yes, and moving on.
Was that kind of obvious that was like what I was going to say, or was it like...
No.
Really?
I haven't dated as much, so I don't know whether there are other guys who use that kind of weird...
There wasn't like a... Well, excuse me?
Weird sentences.
That's fair. But you weren't like, is he going to, or isn't he going to, or like he's taking a sweet time.
I am...
He calls that a line? Like, what was...
Yeah. I think he calls that a line, and then I just like went ahead with
Okay.
it, and then I went home.
Yeah. No, I remember now. It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me.
I don't know if I want to put all of this in the podcast.
I said like something like on a scale of 1 to 10, like how bold would it be if I asked to kiss you right now? And then
yes, that's
you just started laughing, which I guess is a natural reaction. And then, like, you didn't stop laughing. And I'm kind of like, just like waiting for an answer. But then I think eventually you did kind of like nod, and then I like proceeded. And then also the Uber had arrived and he was like parked. So the driver was facing me with like a grumpy expression.
What the heck, dude? I have other things to do.
I was like, I'm so sorry, but like, I'm desperate. I'd do anything. And then you left.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't know how to come out of that, but anyways.
Anyway, that set the tone for the next set of dates.
Next time on Sorry Amma, I married a Kiwi.
How Sam got me to come to a book launch.
That was date 3. Date 4 was when Emasha gave Sam the talk.
And tested whether he can meditate. That was a great test.
Tune in next Tuesday at 7 a.m.
Yeah, 7 a.m. See you guys there.
Bye.
Bye-bye.